Lifesaver.
Say it again.
Lifesaver.
My internet was funny today too. It's weird.
I'll never find it not funny that the best trader I know is just always having technical difficulties.
Well, I mean, this is just they're
It's not on
replacing
you.
they're just replacing our water lines in the neighborhood and repaving. But the people, I guess, the public company that's doing it, they've been cutting off fiber. This is the fourth time in 8 weeks that they did. So not sure, right, what the hell they're doing, but yeah, seems like they're not really good at it. All right, well, let's take a look at it, see what we got here. I think this is a monthly view. Just gonna go down to weekly and see where we are. Hopefully you guys had somewhat of a decent day today. I had a really good day trading. It probably could take a week or two off with what I've done today, but I won't be doing that. What we got today here, so as you guys have seen, I mentioned on the ES contract, if you guys saw, we were talking about November and this October value area low. I'll switch it here just for a second so you guys can see it, right? Somebody asked, like, why are you going back? Well, I'm looking at the months prior to this contract switch, and this was our kind of this key zone, right? That we watched before the contract split. We were aware of this, right? So this is an area that we're going to carry forward, right? And if I go back to the ESH, right, the March contract, you'll notice, right? Of course, the months are going to be different here. So here's your September value area high, maybe a little bit off. Maybe because I'm on a different time frame. Yep. But here's your September. So the levels are different, right? And 870 was a pretty good target, I would say, that, you know, to potentially get a bounce. And that's because that would mean that this was our imbalance candle here or month. And then now we're building balance higher, right? So in terms of monthly time frames, right? This is our December value area low, which is sitting at 975. If bulls really want to get in, they will have to, right? They will have to go ahead and start going inside this December value area low, which would indicate that they are not happy trading here and that they want to go to the upside. If they get in here, right? If they get inside of this level, let's say here, there's a high chance they can go here and potentially go to the next levels here, right? So it's kind of important that the bears, you know, hold their ground on the sell-off that they had for past couple of days and see, you know, who wins, right? As of right now, the bears are in control. And if you go on the monthly candles, I'm just gonna go show you guys this. Hide all. What do you guys see about the monthly candles? Did we put in a new low?
Nope.
No, I mean, we're still framing up on the monthly, so keep that in mind, right? I think he'll come into play, but that was a key level where they bounced from, right? They came in very close to the monthly framing down, and then they kind of took off, right? They bounced perfectly there. So let me unhide some of this stuff so you guys can see it. And let's take a look at what happened today in terms of the daily profiles. So what do you
Shorty, real
guys
quick,
see?
do you no longer use 4 hours for monthly? You use daily now?
I switch. It won't be a drastic difference between 4 and daily. You can
'Cause
check.
on my 4 hours for December on the H, it's all the way down to like
I was on
58.97.
RTH. So let me
Oh,
see.
okay.
Are you talking about this right here?
Mine was a little bit lower, down like 50, little under 5,900.
Are you talking about December or what month are you talking?
Yeah, December.
The value area low is at 976 on 4 hours.
Hmm.
And it's the same for December on daily.
Mine's just off. Okay.
Are you what row size? 200, 100?
Let me see.
It doesn't change.
100 row
How come How come it doesn't say RTH or ETH down there?
Well, when you change it to daily, it doesn't, right?
Yeah, when I
Consider
changed
Oh,
it to
okay.
200, when I changed the row size from 100 to 200, now it's the same.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're shifted all the way to 5898.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I'm usually at 200 on these, so
Erica got unmuted. Yay.
she made it back.
Thank you.
All right, so let's take a look at the daily, right? See kind of what happened. I'm just gonna hide the weekly, right? So in terms of our level, right, we really want to be above this 921, at least from the weekly standpoint. We want to be above this, right? Which would indicate that we are rejecting lower prices on the weekly and that we want to go higher, right? So this is our critical level for tomorrow, I would say so far, without looking at much of data. But what is daily telling you guys? Did daily give you guys any? What does this daily look like to you guys? Here, I'm zooming in a little bit.
Double distribution.
It looks like a pretty clear double distribution, right? So you have a split here, which is about 34-ish, and we can lower this tick size, not increase, lower. And we can see where exactly that happened, right? And then you have a nice mid right here, right? So look at that. So it starts somewhere at 34 all the way to about 25. I would say if they can crack inside of this, which would be also the IBL of today, 34.5, you have a pretty good confirmation that you're most likely going to trade at least, you can target somewhere 978. Would I trim here towards 68 towards this level? Yeah, probably be a good spot to, take some off here. So I would watch that as a key level for tomorrow. Yeah. So if they can go here, I would just put some text here. Double distro. Top. So I mean you have quite a bit, right? You have about 10 points separating that area, and I don't know where they are after hours. Right now, but I would play anything, if they can get over this, let's say 23, 21 zone here, there's a high chance they're going to go here and then seek acceptance inside the top distribution. Because right now you have nice, I would say really nice double distro here, right? So if you go a little bit higher, you'll be able to see it, right? So you can tell here, right? It's a really, really nice distro. And then you have this daily VWAP that's there. So as long as they can auction and you have a previous day value or a low prior to today here as well. So there's a lot lined up here. If they can regain this level, then most likely, if you just look at this price action, right? So they're trading here and then they got rejected. They went below. They climb back up here, right? So now if they get rejected here, that's great. We're probably going to put in a new low, probably somewhere towards this 870 and then 5784. That would be the next levels that I'm kind of targeting. But if they reclaim this, I wouldn't be shocked, right? If you just kind of draw the 3 days here. Look at this. They're kind of knocking on the doors right now. Let me just see where they are after hours. Oh, probably not a bad short here overnight. 3-6, something like that. They could probably drive it all the way back here to 21. So it's important where we open tomorrow, not necessarily what we're doing now. But if they can hold this level here, don't be surprised if there's a short cover rally here tomorrow. I really wouldn't be shocked if the Bears fumble again and let it go. And you see here, if you get in here in this zone, you don't have a lot of room to play with, about 13 points. And this is a pretty big POC, I would say, right? And if you zoom out a little bit, I think we had some balance here before, which is like right here. So we had some levels there before, and I'm interested actually to see where's the POC now. Okay. So they're trying to get inside here, but this is a massive node here that they're going up against now. So if they can clear this, there's probably a high chance they're going to push it. I would think they're going to go probably target previous week value area high. So that would be a good level here to kind of scale out. And you can see the distribution of this, how it's working. They traded here, built balance, 2-day balance, sold off imbalance, went in. They tried to get in, I guess, the day before, if you guys recall, they tried to get in here. They failed. They broke the bottom here. So we're still framing down on a double distribution, right? Which is not as, I would say, from auction perspective, it's not the most confident bearish auction because you went there, accumulated, you went here, now you're kind of in the LVN, in the low volume node of this. So I'll definitely watch this 21 to 24, 34. Once you clear 34, there's a high chance you're going to visit this 76. And the best way to play these is size down. Put your stop loss, right, somewhere below. I would say if you're taking something at, let's say, 34 and you're targeting 68, that's 34 points. How many points can you afford as a stop loss?
Sorry.
About 11.
Yeah, it should be about 11, right? So if you're playing something like this, right? So this is, a lot higher than what you're doing. So if you do something like this here, you can target 68, maybe first level here, right, to this zone. You could definitely target this, right? So if you do something like this is 421. So somewhere around here, you could play this, right? I mean, I'll probably put it right below this 2125 and play. That's a pretty good play. You just size down and let it run. A lot of you guys are, itching to take your profits, and then you trail too close, and then you start taking more trades. The trade doesn't go your way, and the original trade reaches the target, and you're like, man, I should have just held the one I had, right? So you have to learn how to kind of let them run and let them go, right? And I think you'll pay big time over your trading career where you're honestly not even looking at the screen. The best money I typically make is I put a trade in, I wake up, or later on I get them back on a PC and I see it close. I check the log, and I'm like, okay, well, I made money or I lost money. I'm indifferent, but the setup was there. And a lot of you guys are really itching to make money fast and not letting the plays play out in your favor. So you might want to start doing that in 25. At least make that one of your identities as a trader, right? Let them run. Okay. What about the bearish side? What do you want the bears, I guess, to, like, if you're a bear, what's the level? It's a simple question. Don't overcomplicate it.
Below 21.
Yeah. So what if I tell you we did this and then we do something like this? They cannot get in and lose this level tomorrow. And why is that?
You just reject everything above.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be the opposite, guys. I mean, it would just be that when you look at this value here, I'm just going to hide everything here. So here's your candles. Let me switch to bars. So here's your last week's profile, right? Was that it? Yeah. Or no, that's this week's profile. I don't know why I marked it. Prior week, value area low. That's much higher. Either way, so if this is our developing and it's Friday tomorrow, if this is our weekly developing value area low and we're trying to get in and we get rejected out of it, that's a good sign that, hey, you're not interested in these prices. We want to seek prices lower. So I would say that's pretty important, right? And then you have these levels here that we talked about, that part of the double distro, and see, what do they do there. And you can also check this on ETH and see what it looks like. And it's kind of perfect right there as well. So I would target this zone. If you're able to clean this, especially over this POC, once you clean this POC, guys, there's a high chance they're just going to kind of take off. And there's a lot of shorts probably at a bad spot. In my opinion, I think there's probably too many shorts here loaded. Probably too many people, looking for continuation tomorrow and, probably loaded up on puts. And I don't think loading up on puts towards the end of the day today was great, but let's see. If they can hold this tomorrow, I would close the puts. You know, I already trimmed 8 out of 10 on SPY, but there's a high chance we catch another bounce here. And that would mean we're back inside the, you know, weekly balance. And it's bearish, right? Because if you look at the ranges that we had the sell-off inside week. Now we're below that week. And then, you know, this is your prior week low. So we're definitely framing down on the weekly and daily, but now if they really want to take out, the next is the monthly, we got to crack the 70 level here. So this 21 is going to play a big role tomorrow. Up or down, this is going to play a big role, and I'll be live as well in the morning, and we'll see how they react to it. But this level here that we're just about to tap might not be a bad scalp short for overnight. At least I don't think so here. So let's see. And they're inside. Yeah, that's might even be a little bit higher, but let's see. That's a nasty 30-minute candle here, full bar, no wicks anywhere, a little bit up top. And this is an outside bar. So what is the outside bar rule? You go with the direction it breaks, remember? Just like when we talk about TPOs, when it's an outside bar, do you guys remember?
Yep.
Yes.
So if it's an outside period, if it's breaking, right? So let's take a look at it. I'm just gonna lower it a little bit. So here's an outside bar, right? So if you want to look at an outside bar here, that's equal here. Let's see. Is there any today? No, not a single outside bar. Not today, at least. Not today. But do you guys see the split in value? Like when it's split profiles, do you guys, can you guys notice it easily? Like, do you see how much time they spent inside here? And then they flushed from that value. Like this becomes your developing value. Then they sliced, and then you see that there's some absorption happening since 1 o'clock. They're buying, but it's not as aggressive, right? I would think that it would be more, but that's still what, 40 points from the bottom? 50? Yeah, 50 points. So that this day was about 100 points today on ES. So I'll definitely watch this. This is going to be the go-to level for me. If they clean up 34, then I can size up more on the dip buys and ride it higher. That would be my plan. Okay. And Tesla hit the level that we talked about. If you guys remember, you guys recall this level here? 371. When we're talking about, somebody asked, where do you see it going? I think it was in NYC Stockman. If you're on, I don't know if you're on or not, but I think you asked about it, and we talked about this level. If they lose that level, I said 350. This is a compressed lowercase b. Out of this, you can get a really rocket. If you're able to crack this level tomorrow, you can get a really bad short squeeze. I mean, all the way to about 20 points. So I'll definitely watch this tomorrow. And there's weekly VWAP over there as well. So keep an eye on this. And Apple went below our level, if you guys remember. It bounced here, right, where I expected it to bounce. But here's our Apple level, right? Do you guys remember I was telling you 242 is coming if we lose 251.33? Once we lose it, most likely we're going to go down. So we kind of took off here and bouncing off of this ledge. So now if they can reclaim this level right here, let's say they reclaim 245, then they're in the game back. They're going to quickly drive that all the way to 253, 255. But let's see what the day brings tomorrow.
Shorty, can we look at Pfizer real quick?
Yeah, let me look at it on this screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's at a key level, right? So Pfizer is, this is not, yeah. So if you think about Pfizer here, if I just zoom out, you see that they're kind of consolidating for some time, and you can even go on the monthly, like 3 months. So here's your consolidation on 3 months here, right? So you can see it. So you're consolidating for a couple of months now, right? I would say somewhere around here. You're consolidating, you dip it below. And what is this called typically here?
We'll look below and fail.
Remember we talked about the Wyckoff. What is this?
Spring.
Right, yeah. So typically when you see something like this, they go here, that means they got your stop losses and then they take off. And guess what? Out of nowhere, we got a new virus. And one of my friends actually caught it. I just talked to him. The norovirus, it's not new, but it's making a comeback. And he had to be rushed to hospital. So not sure how serious or it's not serious, but said it's miserable. So he can't keep any liquid mouth. Like
Oh,
it's
man.
coming out of every potential hole he has, he said. So he hates it. But yeah, this is a pretty good setup. There's somebody, and if you look at this daily, something odd's happening, right? So look at the candles here. I'm just gonna switch to regular candles. Look at the volume that's coming in here. And then interesting enough, on this highest volume that we had here, did the price make lower lows?
No.
Yeah. So that's not selling, right? That's them buying, right? But then take a look at this volume here. It's as if somebody knows something here in this accumulation here. Somebody's buying it with both hands, including myself. Uh, it looks primed, right, for a takeoff. So the next level is 27. And obviously we got to go inside this, I would say, bracket, right? So if you go on the 12 months, you'll see it clearly now. It's going to combine these four. And you see what we just did now. We're trying to reclaim the yearly value area low. If we do, well, we know where we are headed. Most likely we're headed to 30. And that's the pivotal level. If you guys remember, that 30 level has been pain in the butt for Pfizer. If they're able to reclaim this, and you can see the level of, just look at the volume as you're accumulating. You're accumulating here, but you're not getting the sell off. What does that tell you? Like you're getting a lot of volume here increase, but the price not going lower. What is that?
Is that absorption?
Huh?
What is that? Is that absorption? What do you call that?
It's accumulation.
Accumulation. Somebody's buying, right? If you're going lower on lower volume, right, which if you look at this, when the sell-off happened, right, it's not like they started selling off here aggressively. There was some, pickup in volume here, but that was at all-time highs. And then here, they came, and this one was pretty big right here, but how many lower lows have we put in ever since? Have you put a lot of lower lows here? They put it and they buy it. They put it and they buy it. So this tells me that somebody here is buying pretty aggressively. So I would definitely watch this, right? Especially with the news of virus. And I just saw news that China declared state of emergency. I don't know if that's true or not, right? So I just read it. But if it is, just remember how Corona started. It was the same way that somebody declared a state of emergency in China. We all ignored it. Ignored it, and then all of a sudden everything shut down, right? I would start looking at some airlines here very soon because some of these charts, like on Delta and these guys, do not look promising. And like a 50 put for 3-4 months out, 6 months out on Delta, I think it's an easy 100 plus. Because yeah, this doesn't look so promising on, I would say. So they just filled this major gap. So they can crack this level new low. I think 50 comes in fast. AL's done. This is primed for a sell-off. Look at this. All the way to 21. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Have a good one.
Thank you, Shorty.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Shorty.